up, everyone? It's Jack13, and I know it's been a giant long time since I've done a video, but here's hoping. Figure I might as well do a highway video, because I think it needs justification that the Ninja 250 is perfectly awesome, and that it'll support anything imaginable. And, okay. Alright, so. There are a lot of small capacity bikes that will, in fact, go on the highway perfectly fine, like CBR 125R. Although for that bike, it's probably in the best interest that you're a very, very light person, like say sub 120 pounds or something like that. But for a Ninja 250, it doesn't really matter. I mean, within reason. I mean, obviously it'll have to be within, like, you know, its load capacity limit, which is about 300 some odd pounds. I mean, but yeah, it'll get you on the highway. In fact, it'll, like, the Ninja 250 actually tops out at 170 to 180 clicks an hour, depending on the inclination or whether or not you actually feel like going into your red line. But yeah, there's one point where I actually went on like a racetrack or whatever, like just like a straight, kind of like a drag strip, I guess you could say, where I did 175 without redlining it. I mean, well, not probably about like at 13,500 RPM, but yeah. I have to say it was very awesome, and it seemed to handle it very well, unlike today's traffic. And this guy is going super slow. But besides the point. All I gotta say is that I am incredibly happy. I got my 6,000 click service interval done, and I also got my left lower cowling, like the main body panel, I guess you could say, repaired or replaced more or less. And I also got a replacement for my shifter, which was incredibly bent. In fact, I'll probably, like, when I get home or something like that, I'll probably post something on that, just to see how bent and how resilient it is, considering I drove for say about 6 to 7 months with that bent shifter pedal, which is ridiculous, because you really shouldn't be doing that, but whatever. I didn't have the money at the time. Technically I still don't, but whatever. I finally got it replaced, so I'm happy. But yeah, now so on to Apache. So, right now I'm not in a full talk or anything. I'm just going normal, like how you would in like suburban traffic, like in terms of your riding stance. And it's perfectly fine. I'm not overly killing the throttle. I'm not even hitting the peak horsepower either. I'm in between I'm at around like 9,000 revs, which is in between your torque, which is at, I believe, 8,000 revs, and your horsepower peak, which is supposed to be at 10,200 revs. And it's perfectly fine. In fact, I find that most people, including myself, when they're on this bike, they just usually keep it around 9,000 revs. So then it's not killing the engine, and you still got speed. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Also, if you keep in a tuck, you might find yourself requiring to change your mirror setup. So, Usually when there's nothing around the corner, or, well, not around the corner, in front of you or whatever, I usually adjust my mirrors and whatnot, so then it's perfectly fine, so I can see fine. And I don't have to worry about some guy, you know, whipping me across or something like that. But yeah, regardless, this bike handles incredibly well. Even with its soft tires and regular setup, it is perfectly fine on it. Don't get me wrong though, I mean, on windy days, you might feel that the rear end is sort of, you know, being taken by the wind. Just apply more throttle or just ease up on it really, but yeah, pretty much add more throttle and it should straighten it out through the gyroscopic motion that all bikes, even bicycles, have, this two-wheel motion, and you'll be perfectly fine.